You have landed here in Children in Town. Children in Town, that's the working name of a project that is working on its third and last year now. And when you move outside, you will look a little, because now I think you don't have the bus anymore. So then you have to walk here. So I can show you a little. We started 2 years ago, and everything started with a little Somalian girl walking with her father. And this girl, born here, 4 years old, started to ask questions as small girls and boys do. Papa, this old woman with the dog, the old Swedish woman walking with her dog, how was it when she was small? Did this house exist? And she started to ask many questions. And then he said, I don't know. Come. But in the evening, he told friends, I didn't feel very well. She's born here, and I know nothing. I can't answer her question. So there was a friend of me, Varsame, also native in Somalia, who talked with me some days later and said, isn't it strange anyway, this with the children and the old people? Because most of the children who come from other culture to live here, they have a big amount of respect for elderly people. Sometimes because you have to have respect, but very often because it's in the culture. You respect the old people. And here in Sweden, everybody is raised by Astrid Lindgren, Pippi Långstocking, Långstrump, who said, children are unbeatable. Les enfants sont imbattables. Double fond qui est assez joli. Les enfants sont imbattables. Children, so that's how they are raised. Children are very precious, and they live their life just now. It's enough. They don't have to be a machine like us. They are enough like they are, blah, blah, blah. But when they meet the old Swedish people and the people, young people from other countries who live here, and I think you can recognize it from your home too, they start to say, yes, here in Sweden we don't make bicycle here. And here in Sweden we throw the trash and the things here. And they answer, fuck you. And that's the relation. And that's sad. That's very sad, because they live in the community together. So what we ask, we say, is there anyone who can give us money to try to find methods to make these groups meet and really talk together, and the children can learn a lot of the old Sweden. And to make a very long story a little shorter, there was one old woman who said, yes, there's nothing wrong with them, but you know how many children they have? Woo! 7, 8, 9, 10. Woohoo! I promise you. I remember what she said. 1 year later, there was a big meeting in the end of year 1. Lots of old people, lots of children, and the staff. And they have prepared questions, because the first year was the year to answer all the questions of the little Somalian girl. How was it when these old people actually was like us, children? This woman, one asked, did you have any sisters and brothers when you were young? Yes. How many? 9. It was common here 2 generations ago. Same story. They learned a lot of each other. The second year, who is now gone, precisely, in end of April, we focused much more on the children's situation today. And if I have to tell something about that, they live in a quite schizophrenic world, the children today. The dreams that children always have about life and things, as long as they stay in the MTV world, it's okay. Then they can, hey, whoa, right. So, it's okay. But when we start to ask questions about future, about the drug deals, because you are just now in one of the poorest part in Sweden. If you take the street, the bus I take just on the small street down like that. One of the poorest part in Sweden. Quite a lot of drugs and violence, gunshots. You can read in the newspapers, they talk about Rasmusgatan, which is the street you take with the bus. But you're still alive. Okay. And the first year we learned something. That's why you are here, actually. We learned that all this area from this street here down to bicycle way that is very strange. It's a bicycle way that is between houses from the 1800s, where you can wonder why. But that's because there was a rail train before. And before that there was a fleuve. How do you say that in English? River, thank you. A river. All that area, it was actually chicken and potato fields, and people make food to eat. And the children asked in the end of year 1, can you do that today? And we said, yeah. So we built that one little red house here to make plants grow. Just very pedagogical, very small. I thought in my, maybe we can make 10, 20 tomatoes. That's good, they will learn, we can do it, yes. And then one girl who is here, behind the door, Linnea, heard about Barnistan and said, I know something about the growing things. I would like to work with you. And she knows a lot. So last year, 1 year ago, there is a photo on the door, you can look when you go outside. There was a little tiny place with grass and dog shit. That's it. I think there was 3 tulips also, quite nasty ones. And we started to grow things with the children. And we had no idea. We come in the middle of the boom of urban gardening. We really didn't have any clue at all. So now they start to talk about Barnistan in many places, suddenly. And I am very happy about that. But for me, the gardening itself, it was actually a tool. Because this, to grow things together, it was the best tool ever to make people meet. Over age, over sex, over religion, doesn't matter. And they start to talk. Yes, but you know, in Iran, we make like this, and we mix with that, and suddenly they make soup in the kitchen. Wow, okay. So, I tried to, the first year I was pushing everything in front of me, it was the feeling, heavy work. And now, since last summer, I'm running after, trying to catch up what's going on here, what's happening. And that's a nice feeling. So start with your tomatoes. On every table here there's tomatoes growing. Everywhere. Many, many plants. I know that you are in a hurry. You have to but if you have questions, maybe better to take it inside than in the rain. Est-ce qu'il faut absolument que je prenne tout ça en français?
Non.
Bon. Hein? Merci. So, questions, if you have. They are so well educated, they don't have anything more to learn. Fantastic.
Who are you?
Me or the staff?
Both.
You and
You and your staff.
Me and my staff, I think we are quite ordinary people. I think. Me, I worked a lot with hospital clowning, so I know Caroline Simmons very well. Le Rire Médecin. So actually, yes, I have worked with difficult meetings, most of my life. And before the hospital clowning, I worked with making people with homes meeting people, homeless people.